Hello from me, Lazarus IDE. Welcome to the next lesson in the course on Introduction to Lazarus IDE. We are currently working on my second book, Introduction to Lazarus IDE Part 2. And just to let you know, I am currently working on my third book, Part 3, in which we will look at and more components for Lazarus IDE and a much larger and complex program for sales in a store. I hope to have it ready in 2 or 3 months and I can release it here. So, here we have reached in the free chapters up to the 5th chapter and we have reached parameter or object. Sender in Lazarus IDE. Open the PDF file. In Lazarus IDE and Object Pascal, sender is a parameter or object, of type object, which is present in all event procedures and indicates which component generated the event. In this lesson we will cover the theoretical part and we will do 1 or 2 more lessons on the topic. So sender is always of type TObject. This is the base class for all objects in the Lazarus IDE, which means that sender can be almost any component. Purpose of sender allows us to identify and interact with the component that caused a given event. Here's a simple example. You see, if you've paid attention so far, in every procedure we've written the following, and the component there, the event, and here in the parentheses there's always sender TObject. So, in this case, what do we do now? If the button is pressed, here we have a button press. A button click event. If the button is pressed, sender contains a reference to this button, and using sender as button we treat sender as a button and show its title right here. And what will we see when we run this example? I'm not going to show it. This is a very simple example. We see the following. Why is sender used? Because it has the following advantages. It allows to reuse the same procedure. It allows the identification of the specific object that caused the event. It reduces code duplication because we no longer need to create a separate procedure for each component. How to use sender? Usually, sender is of type object, which means it can be any object, but we shouldn't right now access the specific properties of the component if we aren't sure of its exact type. So first we do this kind of check. If sender is of type button for example and we process clicks on different buttons, we want to find out which button is pressed. We can write the following. In the procedure, if sender is of type button, then check whether sender is a button. A button type sender converts sender to a button so that we can access its properties. And we're displaying the title of the button. That's it. That's all for this lesson, because this topic is longer. We're going to divide it into 2 or 3 parts. That's all for this lesson. Best regards.